Yeah, with the Kanto history, I did not know that the very first product was actually for a 30-pin iPod connector. That's pretty cool to go all the way back to what year would that be? Like 2007?
2007, yeah.
That was when the first iPhone was actually 2006 was when the first iPhone was announced, but '07, iPhone 3. So I see where we're going, how far back we're going here.
Uh-huh.
So based in Vancouver, BC, but the company itself makes like what are the main product categories for Kanto? Here, I'll pass that
Yeah.
over to you.
So I think the product that most people know us by is probably our speakers. So two-channel powered speakers is a huge product category that we focus on. Um, and apart from speakers, we also have a wide variety of different mounting products. So tablet stands, monitor arms. We also have some headphone accessories over there, TV mounts, TV carts that we don't have a demo of today. And we also have monitor stands and speaker stands, all kinds of different mounting products that can support our customers' mounting needs.
The nice thing when you say mounting products is that covers a lot of different product lines. So that would be like mounting for monitors, for phones or tablets, and then also headphones.
That's right.
And then we also got these guys over here. So these headphone hooks for okay. So yeah, that really summarizes speakers on one side and then mounting products and accessories kind of all in the same category then.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah, I think we've got quite a variety of products here we're going to go through eventually. Um, yeah, God, people talking about 2007 versus 2023. Yep. Well, I hope this addressed the microphone challenge. I think it's looking good in terms of my levels in OBS. So thank you for pointing that out. Um, oh man, we're talking about computer hardware. Yeah. So let's dive into some of these products, Joe. So um, do we want to start with mounting products, or do you want to start with speaker products? Totally up to you. What do you want to pick on today?
Work on
So we'll start with mounting products.
mounting products, and then we can end with the speaker lineup and potentially make a sneak peek type announcement about a new pair of speakers that we're working on.
Oh, oh, that's I like speakers and audio, so that's enticing. I'm very intrigued by this little teaser that you've just given me here. But yeah, with mounting products, I'm a big fan of the idea of optimizing a workflow, like whether you're a content creator, a business professional, or a casual user. I think accessories and these kind of products are designed to increase the quality of life and to reduce stress because every day we're multitasking and trying to take care of so many different things that having a nice set workflow with accessories is a big plus. So one that I just feel like pointing out right now is what's on the holding up this laptop. It's so ninja. I don't think people realized it, but what exactly is this product, Joe?
Yep. So this product right here that's holding up Ronnie's streaming laptop here is our laptop stand. So the nice thing about all of our mounting accessories and products is we try to make it so that the product just works out of the box instead of having to assemble it or put a lot of effort into understanding how everything works and how to put them together. We prefer to make it one piece and make it usable right out of the box. So this laptop stand here is a one-piece design. So it ships in one piece and it was also manufactured in one piece, meaning the customer won't have to spend 30 minutes trying to figure out how to build it, make sure they're building it properly, and it also adds to the structure and the sturdiness of the product as well. There's also nice silicone padding on the top and the bottom to protect your expensive laptop or gear. and to make sure it doesn't slide everywhere when you're using it.
I would love to get a closer look at it here. Oh, perfect. Got a nice camera angle. So if you look at this unibody, the single piece design that Joe was mentioning, a lot of people ask, is it sturdy? Is it stable? And I would say for 99% of people who are using a laptop stand, it has your basics covered. Like here, let me type really quickly. Here, Joe, hold this mic. Typing super quickly and just going as fast as I can possibly type. And as you can see, I make one typing error, but it's doing the job. And I feel like a lot of people are seeing foldable, portable laptop stands, and they're thinking it is the same kind of rigidity, which is just not true. Like when you have those devices, is there a logical reason why Kanto chose a single, like would that be in line with why Kanto chose that design aesthetic for this stat?
Absolutely. I think there's two main reasons to why we decided on a one-piece design rather than a foldable or an assembly required type design. First being the sturdiness of a one-piece design, as you can see, because there's no screws or connections in between the two pieces, connecting the top and the bottom. It makes the laptop stand itself a lot more sturdy, which is important because a lot of people are going to be typing or using their laptop while it's on the stand. You want to make sure it's not rocking back and forth. You want to make sure that it's not going to, reduce the experience as opposed to enhancing it. So the one-piece design is going to add to the sturdiness, but also it makes using the product right out of the box a lot easier. So we want the customer to be able to order the product, get the product, open up the box, and use it right away. A lot of the products out there that does similar things requires assembly, which means the customer, again, will have to read into the instructions and figure out how to install it. And sometimes we even notice that over time, the screw might get loose and the customer will have to tighten it, or it might cause issues with the sturdiness of the product and all that good stuff. So definitely sturdiness and ease to use is a huge focus when it comes to a lot of our products, and this laptop stand is no exception.
Yeah, I do like how, so I've got another camera here so you can see, like this is a very nice finish. It's the, this powdered paint matte black finish. It's like, it just feels like a premium product that I feel I can trust will just get the job done for me. And then you can kind of see the rubber feet to hold the laptop underneath this Asus laptop here. Yeah, like I really feel like these are simple accessories that are not difficult to set up, and it's such an easy way to get a slight ergonomic advantage, especially if you're constantly at a desk. Another way to use this stand that I've actually done is as a wireless keyboard. So if you're trying to elevate your keyboard and get some more, get a better angle or posture, like I've also seen how that works out. But obviously for laptops, this is kind of the idea, just like how we have it set up right here. And what was the, does it have other finishes, or this is the main, because color? Because I know you guys have tons of colors with your other products.
Yeah. Try to do as many colors as possible when it comes to products. Like, for example, our speakers, we used to have 7 different finishes. Now it's down to 4. But we try to have as many finishes as possible. But for a product like a laptop stand, we find that customers generally tend to go for a matte black finish, which is why, unfortunately, for the laptop stand, we only have one finish available. But for our other products, like our headphone stands and some other stuff that we're going to get into in a bit, we'll have more options available for the customer.
We have a question from Shadow Does Something. Does the laptop stand work with MacBooks? So Apple products, MacBook Pros. What do you know regarding compatibility there, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. For most of our mounting products, we've designed it to be universal and to work with as many devices as possible to the extent where we actually test it with many, many different brands and many, many different sizes. So for this laptop stand specifically, it is universal and works with many different types of laptops, including MacBooks, even a MacBook Air or a bigger 17-inch laptop. So we're good on that front.
Awesome, awesome. So we've covered this laptop stand here, and what's the product name for this, by the way, if anyone's curious to search it up on our website? Kanto LE1 laptop stand. And for those asking, does it work with MacBooks? Yes, it does. My recommendation, from what I can tell, is 12 to 15.6-inch notebooks would be completely fine. 17-inch, you may want to give it a try if you commit to it. Just seeing the design of my gaming notebook here, 17-inch. I can't guarantee it'll be the most stable, but definitely 12 to 15.6 inches, which covers majority of the laptops out there on the market. Cool. I'm going to switch us back to our other camera, wide camera here. What else, Joe, can we cover for our mounting products? Ooh, okay. Headphone stands. So I'm going to pull this one over here. Got this one, and then I'm also going to pull this one over on this side. Get a nice intimate look at them with our camera angle.
Here as well.
Perfect. So, Joe, tell us, you've got two headphone stands here. I'm going to prep the close-up camera in a sec as while you talk. We've also got a nice headphone hook for a desktop in white. Yeah, what can you tell us about these headphone stands? I see one's quite beefy and chunky, and then you've got another one that's much more of a slim profile.
So starting off with the purpose of a headphone stand. Not sure if many of you can relate, but when I was using my headphones a lot at home, once I'm done with gaming or working, I would just take my headphones off and I would just put it on the table, and sometimes there's a stack or a pile of paper just on the desk where I'm putting my headphones on. And when I wake up in the morning, there will always be a pile of oil or grease on those paper, which is annoying and a little disgusting, which is why that was a huge inspiration for the headphone stands. I think optimizing your desktop setup, making it more clean, making your life easier, and all that good stuff. So here we have 3 different types of headphone products that can help you optimize your desktop needs based on what your lifestyle is and how you like your setup to be. So we have the H1, which is a simple headphone stand over here. And then we have the H2, which is more of a sturdier and beefier headphone stand. And then we also have the HH, which is our headphone hook product. So all 3 products kind of serve a different purpose depending on your setup. And going into the H1 first. So the H1 is a more simple and basic headphone stand that can work with, again, many of the headphones out there. They're designed to be universal. So the cradle up top will fit many different headphones and different headphone sizes. The nice thing about the H1 and H2 and HH headphone products is, again, just like our laptop stand, we ship everything and we design everything to be one piece. So there's no assembly required at all for any of these products, which means you won't have to, again, spend time to figure out how to install it, but also the one-piece design adds to the sturdiness of the product. So you won't have to worry about the top cradle failing over time or the assembly not being sturdy enough that it can't hold your headphones up. So the top cradle also features a nice silicone padding, which prevents your headphones or earphones from sliding back and forth. There's also a silicone padding underneath to prevent the stand itself from sliding on your desk as well. So it's nice and sturdy once you're on your desk, and then you can just throw your headphones on there once you're done with your gaming session or your working session, and you're good to go the next day. The difference between the H1s and the H2 is the type of headphones you have. So with the H1, you probably want something that's less bulky or less professional. So this one over here, it'll work better with the H1s. But for H2s, if you have huge overhead headphones, it'll work better since the cradle on the top, the silicone padding, is a little thicker. And also the column is also a little sturdier. With the H1 specifically, we have different color options. So this is the white option over here. We also have a black option. Both are in beautiful painted steel.
Oh, there's one more.
Also have the silver version that Ronnie is helping me out with. So all three colors are available for you to design your desktop setup and pick the one that works best with your needs. So these are the headphone stand products. We also have an option for customers that don't really have any desktop space. So this headphone hook here, let me make some space here, is a beautiful little headphone hook that's designed to go on the side of your desk. So let me see. How this works is you'll take this headphone hook over here, and with the included hardware, which is either the 2 screws that can be screwed on over here, or a piece of 3M tape, which comes inside the packaging, you can either screw it to the bottom of your desk over here, or you can apply the 3M tape and you can just tape it on to the side of your desk so that when you're ready to put your headphones on there, all you have to do is take the headphones off and you can put the headphones right on here, and it's a nice and clean setup that requires no desktop space. So that's another great way to keep your desktop setup clean and to keep grease away from anything that you have on your desk.
And yeah, that happens often.
It's good to know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, just trying to keep the setup clean is it's a daily endeavor. Wash your hands, guys. People still get sick out here. Yeah, so this is great. Like we've got 3 major colors here. You've got white, this aluminum silver finish, and then you've got black. They all have a bit of a matte tone, which is nice. Kind of keeps things consistent with all these different products, which mostly have matte finishes. So we've got headphone accessories. I personally, I own the H2. This is the H2, I believe, right? And then these are H1s.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I honestly feel the H1 can handle the same weight capacity overall, but there is something nice about the H2 design here, which I do myself. Occasionally, I'll put 2 headphones on here, and I'll be able to hold 2 headphones kind of back to back. So that is a much chunkier, beefier stand, and I totally agree. Made for larger headphones. But I still like the H1s myself. I think they can both do the trick. It's like a personal preference, really. Cool. So we've got mounts covered. We've got our L1, was it? LE1?
LE1.
LE1 laptop stand that we just covered briefly here. Let's put a few of these back. And we've got a few other products we can talk about. What is the stand to your right? That's a different type of mounting product.
Yeah, so right in front of me is are device stands. So device stand because it works with tablets. Um, device stand
Pass
here.
that mic
Nope.
over.
Yeah, this device stand here might look very basic and very simple, just like any tablet stands that you can find online. But we've done a lot of design work to this product to make sure that there's uh, more features to it than just a regular tablet stand. So to start off with the basic feature, it is to hold up your device. So over here, you can see that there is a ball joint in the top where you can loosen or tighten, and there's just a clamp up top to clamp onto your tablet or phone. There's also different adjustment spots along the speaker stand itself to allow for tightening and loosening depending on what your use case is. And then there is also silicone padding all over the speaker to protect your device. So that's the number one feature and the number one use to the speaker stand. Device stand. But when it comes to designing a product, we also want to make sure that our products can work with more than just one use. So for this product specifically, we've designed 2 additional accessories to go with the device stand itself. So these 2 accessories also come within the box, so there's no additional charge for them. The first one being our camera adapter. So the top of the speaker stand here can be twisted to loosen up the device attachment. And once that's loosened, you can attach the camera holder, which is just a normal camera screw thread that most cameras or even mics or speakers uses. Ronnie will show that in a second. Yep. And it's as easy as attaching this camera piece onto the tablet stand.
Okay.
And what is
To
it?
do this live, we're going to try this live. I'm going to detach our stand, our Logitech camera from this stand, and then while I do that, I'll get Joe to help me prep the actual stand here. So I'll take care of this part.
Yep. So the second attachment that we decided to.
Here, let me get you the mic there.
Oh. So the first thing that I use this wall plate personally is to have the tablet wall mounted. So if you want to use your tablet in a space where you want the tablet to be hanging, all you have to do is take the included wall plate, take the 2 screws that comes in the box, and screw this onto any flat surface of your choice. So it could be a wall with studs behind. It could be under a cabinet or anything like that. And once you mount it, you can actually combine the legs over here. And if you want to combine the legs here, now, well, you can just slide this right in here, and now your tablet's wall mounted. The nice thing is the arms will still work so that you can pull it in, pull it out, and make any sort of adjustments as you'd like. So that's a great, great additional feature that we've added to our tablet stand. We also have a lot of users tell us that they use our tablet stands in the kitchen. So how it works is they'll have this wall plate mounted under their kitchen cabinet or their counter. And then once it's there, they can simply close the legs up again. Then they can slide the legs into wall plate here. And now you have a floating tablet for your kitchen needs or any sort of under cabinet needs. So a very, very versatile and universal product that works in many, many different ways.
I love it because I'm so passionate about creative workflows. Like all these tools, they're fun toys, but they're also mostly tools. If you're in this industry making content and sitting in front of your computer for hours, editing things. So I've just attached. I'm gonna switch camera angles here. We've just attached the base to the webcam here, and we're going to link that accessory onto the base, because this becomes a very high-end webcam stand. Like this is quite a fancy way to set up your webcam. So we've got Joe articulating it right now, and then you've got this amazing, very robust high-end stand now. And what's nice is we can switch over to it. And there you go. You can see us using that feature. And that was like within seconds. We had that set up, Joe, really quickly. So here's the wide lens, the wide camera. You can kind of see the whole setup here. All the way from the webcam to the base. I mean, it's on a ball joint, which is really cool. Grimwolf, any gimbals. Gimbals are a product line that's more specialized for digital cameras, mirrorless cameras, DSLRs. So this product is not meant to be a gimbal, but you could probably use it with your smartphone like a gimbal because it's pretty sturdy. And the way that I'm using it right now, like the camera is completely fine. But the short answer, Grimwolf, to your question, any gimbals? If you're thinking motorized gimbals for cameras, not quite. But right now, we are covering a tablet slash smartphone stand. Hey, Criplet, he wants to offer promotional stuff for our channel viewers, followers, views, and bots. And that comment just gets deleted. So yeah, like what I like about what we just did here, Joe, is I'm now holding it in the stand. And I don't mean to use it as a gimbal, but this is like somewhat viable as a gimbal. Pretty cool.
Yep, it's very portable and very handy, and it's not overly heavy, so it's quite easy to bring around as well if you need to. But the main kind of idea that we have for many of our products is to make them as multifunctional and multi-purpose as possible. So if you're going to spend money on a tablet stand, we want to make sure that you're also getting more than just a tablet stand. So making sure that it works with smaller phones, making sure that it works with different mounting options like under cabinet or wall mounting. Now all of a sudden you have a product that works as a tablet stand, but also a camera stand, a mic stand, a webcam stand.
Literally our webcam stand right now.
Yeah.
Let me just switch over to now set up on this S250, I believe.
Yep, this is the DS.
This Kanto DS250. So we're gonna keep it like that for the rest of the stream. I think it's awesome, and then it gives us the flexibility we need to do product shots that might be more close up. Like while we sorry, one sec. I'm going to go back to our wide lens here, and you can see how it's fully capable. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me just show you guys something really cool.
Yeah.
So we'll do a nice cinematic product shot here. Okay, Joe, I'm gonna pass the mic over to you here.
I got it. On angle.
You see me prepping this here, and watch this. We're gonna do something really cool here. Okay, you see how I'm just moving this DS250 arm? Okay, now watch how smooth and cinematic this looks. Whoa. All the way to the DS150. not intended, like this product is not intended to be used this way, but I just like showing off how we can get creative with some of these tools, and that just kind of came up as as we started our interview here. Cool. So that's the DS250 and the DS150. We've covered the H1 over here, which is our slim headphone stand. We've covered the H2 on the far end here, which is the higher end stand for more robust, more heavier headphones. And we've got other mounting products here. So what else should we cover, Joe?
Let's talk about our
Oh yeah, let's
monitor stand.
let's bring that right over here if you can.
Middle.
That's okay. It's looking pretty clean on the live stream feed. I feel like this will work. We can keep it like that. And I'll clip this on to you.
Okay. Beauty. So let's talk about our DTS 1000 monitor stand here. The whole purpose of this monitor stand and kind of the inspiration of it is from our TV mounts. With a TV mount mounted on the wall, you can swivel, you can tilt your TV and all those good stuff. We wanted to make sure that our customers are able to do that even if they can't mount it on a wall. So we designed a TV stand that offers similar features. And following the success from that, we also wanted to design something for the monitor. So when you buy a monitor from Memory Express or Best Buy or anywhere, a lot of the times they'll only come with a very basic stand for it. So most times it's either a basic pedestal stand or one of those chicken feet stands that comes on the side. The issue with those is you're unable to adjust the height, you're unable to swivel, you're unable to tilt. So you're kind of stuck with how the stand wants you to use it, which is not the best for your viewing experience, your gaming experience, or even really your back. So what this product can do is it can replace the stand that your monitor would come with right away. And it's also super easy to mount.
I want to show. I'm just going to show the back of this with our other camera.
Show that real quick. So mounting this is super easy. All it needs is the 4 VESA screws in the back, which most monitors will have. The wall plate goes on top of the 4 screws, and then you just lock it into the stand. We can show the installation and the quick release a little bit later. But what this does now is it unlocks so much more potential from your monitor, because in addition to being able to swivel, monitor vertical, or tilt to reduce glare depending on how lighting is in your room. You can also height adjust this. So if this is too tall for your eye level, you can bring the rail all the way up. It releases, goes all the way to the bottom, and then you can slowly find the perfect height for your viewing angle in your eyes, depending on how your own setup is. So no more relying on stacking up textbooks or all kinds of good stuff just to get to the right level of height. You can simply use one of these stands to make it your own personal perfect setup. So again, swivel, have tilt, have height adjustment, and this also makes it super easy to make your monitor vertical or horizontal. So a great tool to have to optimize and perfect your monitor setup at home.
Joe, could you show us again how to do the height adjustment? Like how, I just saw you doing it pretty easily, but I was wanting to give a closer look for the viewers, like how exactly is that done?
Absolutely. So I'll bring this closer up front so we can see it better.
Yeah, so it'll be on this
Oh,
camera
perfect.
here.
So all you have to do is pull the column all the way up till it reaches the release point. It'll then release all the way to the bottom, and from here, you can really take your time to find the perfect spot. So you can go with one click to begin with, and then you can slowly find the perfect click that gets it to the right height level for you. And once you find the perfect height, all you have to do is release. And as long as it's not at the top, which is the reset point, it'll lock right in, and your monitor will be as sturdy as any other monitor stands out there. And the nice thing is, because of the design of this monitor stand, it lets you put stuff on the actual monitor stand itself. So on my own setup, I have a lot of post-it notes on here. Sometimes I put my notepads up here. So it really helps with decluttering your desktop space while also providing all the space you need to keep track of stuff.
These notches here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notches. Is that the maximum height right now that it's set to?
Nope, I think there's 2 more clicks, and then after this, it should be the release point, and then goes all the way down to the bottom. And from here, you can find your right height, but this is honestly pretty tall, so for anyone that's using it for desktop use, there should be more than enough clicks here for you to find the perfect height for your own setup.
Yeah, that is a pretty unique product. I don't think I've seen a full, like this is a fully articulating and adjustable stand that acts as an accessory to any VESA mountable monitor.
And the nice thing is there's also cable management built in. So there's a lot of clips that I haven't attached to the stand itself yet. But with those clips, what you can do is you can have your HDMI cables and your power cables run along the back of the stand. So when you look at the product up front, all you see is the monitor and the stand itself, and there won't be any cables. So there will be clips along here, and there's a few here usually that I haven't attached yet, but the cables will just run from here down to the clips itself, and then down onto your desk, and then into your power outlet. So it's a super clean setup, and it's a great way to declutter your desktop space while unlocking additional functionality from your monitor itself.
Sounds like a strange product, I feel, to most people, but there is a very specific convenience factor that I can relate to. And what it really comes down to for me is like sometimes I'm in a different seating positions, and if I have multiple monitors, like I'll want the best angle for my viewing experience when I'm doing editing, reading, whatever productivity it is that I'm up to. So yeah, it's just nice to see this product is so, it's just such a versatile accessory. And yeah, just like seeing how easy it was for you to use with holding the base and then every click is its own locking mechanism. Like, I like the idea. I've never actually seen a product like this. So it's pretty cool. And I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notches. So I guess this is the max height here. That is really cool, though.
And I think the biggest thing is, I
That
think
the
there's
max height.
another, one more click, and that's the max height. But that's a pretty tall height. Your desk will be pretty high up if this is your perfect viewing angle. But I think the biggest thing is when we're spending upwards to $300, $400, $500, $600 on a monitor, really want to make sure that we're doing all we can to get the perfect viewing angle and get the perfect experience from the product that you've spent many of your hard-earned money on. And with this stand, it'll make sure that you have the perfect height, so it won't be hurting your back. We'll make sure that you have the perfect angle with the swivel feature, and also the perfect tilt angle to prevent any sort of glaring, especially if You have a light behind you that could cause glare on your monitor. Often it's really just the angle. If you tilt it forward or backward a little bit, it'll really help with that glare a lot. So again, it's a product that's gonna make your life a little better when it comes to your desktop setup and your gaming or working experience.
Does this have a maximum weight, or is there something we need to be considerate of with the monitor size relating to this?
Yep, so making sure that it works with the advertised weight of 17.5 pounds is important because we want to make sure that the stand will lock in properly with those locking teeth at each level, and also making sure that the stand is not too wide. So this product, this stand specifically, works with monitors up to 32 inches. But for example, if a customer has a G9 or if you have one of the bigger curved monitors, unfortunately the stand won't work with those monitors just because the base itself isn't wide enough. And when there is a big monitor, especially the curved ones like the G9, the torque on the two ends will really start messing with the weight distribution. So unfortunately for this product, it won't work with the ultra wides, but if you have any monitors under 32 inches and it has the VESA mount in the back, chances are it'll work with this stand for sure.
Your mic for a second. So yeah, this is a 27-inch 4K monitor. It's pretty standard, nothing crazy about it. And it's got your VESA mount at the back. So that's 100 by 100 millimeters based on what I'm seeing here. So I'm just gonna switch over to the other close-up camera. So that's 100 by 100. You can see that this is your standard mounting size for computer monitors. So it's pretty accessible for, I'd say, majority of the monitors out there, as long as they advertise they have the VESA mount built in. So that's pretty awesome. I really think that the base is actually quite wide, and it's weighted, and that'll allow for the most flexibility for the monitor. And even just with the way you were demoing it, Joe, I didn't feel hesitant at all with the strength and rigidity of that base. In fact, what I really liked is the tension. So whenever I'm adjusting any of these mechanisms, whether it's rotating, tilting, or height adjustment, it feels like it's engineered with proper research and development. Like there's a smoothness to it all.
Yep.
It's very cohesive. So that is the newest product for me, actually. I'm quite familiar with most of these products, but this is the DTS 1000 behind us. So that's a neat product, Joe. Like, I really don't see a lot of this type of accessories for desktop optimization, but I think it makes a lot of sense, especially if you're doing a lot of work in front of a computer. It's like the bed mattress argument. It's like, do you really want to spend $5,000, $2,000 on a bed mat, like a bed in your room? Your mattress alone can cost you thousands, but you're sleeping on it every day, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. Well, with your computer, you're using your monitor, who knows, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours a day. For some people who are in the same space as me, you might be doing video editing for 10 hours plus a day. So investing a little bit into monitor mounts and things like that, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. There's a lot of micro adjustments available to the customer themselves. So like Ronnie had mentioned earlier, the tension on these moving joints, so the swivel and the tilt and the vertical swivel, all these are controlled by a screw itself. So if the screws do get loose over time, or if you're finding that the screws themselves are not tight enough, what you can do is you can use one of these keys, Allen keys, that are conveniently stored in the back of the product itself. And you can actually loosen or tighten the screw that's controlling the moving point. And you can make the tension looser or tighter depending on your personal preference. So if you really like the smooth swiveling experience, and maybe making it a little looser will make it easier to glide the product itself. Versus if you prefer to have the monitor at a specific angle, then making it tighter will prevent the monitor from moving, even from just a bump or just an unintended on the monitor itself. So everything is totally up to our customers themselves, and it's fully customizable, which makes it a great product for everyone.
Yeah, I think with the like the Allen keys being attached to the back, like I'm guilty of this. Whenever I get something off of IKEA or Amazon and it comes with accessories, I need to find them when I can never find them. And having this built in just makes it that much more convenient. And it does also double as cable management, which is quite nice.
Also extremely easy. We designed it with a quick release bracket here. So it's really just the one screw here that holds onto the bracket itself. So once I loosen this screw over here, will be quickly. This whole wall plate that's attached to the monitor is now removable. So all I have to do is take this, move it up, and now the entire monitor is detached from the stand itself. From here, I can take the 4 screws that connects the wall plate onto the monitor itself off, and then I can take this onto any other monitors that I have. And once it's installed, I'll take this back to the stand, and I'll just line it up with the rail here, drop it down, and take this screw here, screw it back on, and now installation is complete. So it's extremely convenient, extremely easy to swap monitors or install the monitor that you have. And the biggest convenience point here is you won't have to hold on to your monitor while you mount it on. Since it's already attached to the monitor, all you have to do is again slide it under the rail, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that is a design that I wish a lot more of manufacturers did. Because, yeah, mounting with Visa is a bit of a challenge and a frustration sometimes if you're using monitor arms, desktop mounts, things like this. DTS 1000. Yeah, I'm a fan of this. Like, I actually put my current solution, our previous solution, is to mount my monitors on its own arms, like individual single mount, desktop mount arms. But there is a time and a place for every accessory, and I just feel like some people can't actually mount arms onto their desk for whatever reason. So when you can't use any other devices, there seems to always be an accessory that makes sense. So this DTS 1000 is really going to give you all the articulation and features that you need out of a monitor base that might not actually have it built in. And it's so cool to see it can do full rotation to get you that portrait versus landscape setup. Very cool. Or upside down monitor setup, so full on 300, 180, full 180 here. But yeah, thanks for demonstrating how easy that is, Joe, to set up.
Absolutely, it's always a pleasure.
Sure thing.
It's also very easy to and prevent it. That stuff.
Yeah, the base is like I appreciate the weight of the base because then that's what allows me to feel safer when I use the articulating features, rotation, swivel, pivot. It's a nice balance. Nice balance. DTS 1000. How new is that? As new as I think it is? Like I haven't really paid much attention to the mount sides lately, but how new is this product for Kanto?
The DTS 1000 is around 3 months old, so it's a fairly new product from us, and it's an extension to our monitor accessories lineup. So historically, we only have a gas shock product over here and a non-gas shock monitor arm. But finally, with the introduction of DTS 1000, there is finally a no drill, no mount option that's available for customers that might not have a wide enough desk for a clamp to go on, or a customer that might not have a grommet hole for a monitor arm to go into. This is a great solution for any of those customers. Plus, I'm guilty of it myself. I've lost monitor legs before after I mounted my monitor
Me too.
onto an arm. And when I was trying to sell that monitor, people were giving me a hard time because I didn't have to stand to go with it. So this will be a great solution for that. You know, if you have a monitor that from before that you just don't have a stand for, this universal stand will do the job.
So you mentioned that there's another monitor stand on this side here that is using a gas shock to hold the monitor up, and I feel like you can see right here, it's already got a monitor on it. Joe, would you be able to demonstrate? I know that you mentioned that this had a nice latching mechanism that's really easy to install. I'm going to just move over with the mobile cam. It's not really mobile, it's just on a really long cable here. And I actually want to see if we can demonstrate the DTS 2000. Is that this arm here? So I'm going to pass the mic over back to you here while I camera operate on the other side. 1 second.
Thank you, thank you. So this is our DMS 2000 gas shock arm over here. The nice thing with this gas shock arm is you're able to make any sort of fine adjustments on the fly with the monitor on the product itself, thanks to the gas shock arms. So with this arm where the monitor is attached, I can bring the monitor to any sort of height level that I'd like. I can also bring it closer. I can bring it further. I can rotate it to make it vertical, or I can make it horizontal, tilt, swivel, all on the fly. The nice thing about our gas shock monitor arms specifically, because there are a lot out in the market, this gas shock monitor arm is designed to be aesthetically pleasing. So as you can see, unlike the generic robotic arms that you see on the market, our DMS 2000 is slim, attractive, and has an industrial design. So it looks a lot cleaner, especially if the back of your monitor is something that you're going to be seeing often.
Hey, Joe, can I
Yep,
see your...
absolutely. The other thing that we've designed to make the DMS 2000 easy to install is the installation portion of the stand itself is all done in the top. So I have a single arm here to show kind of the installation process. So this is our single arm version, and this is the base of it. And traditionally, you have to go to the bottom of it and work with the screw underneath and go under your table and crawl under your table. It's not user-friendly, and it is difficult to install. So for our product specifically, we've designed it so that the screw is actually on the top, and all you have to do is loosen the screw with the attached Allen key, which will then release the clamp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then you just release it so that it's wide enough for your desk. You will then take the whole clamp, you'll slide it into your desk, and once it's in, all you have to do is tighten the screw. And once you're done with that, installation is pretty much complete. So once this is on, all you have to do is take the arm itself, which is just like this arm over here, slide it into the base. So the DMS 2000 has a wider base because of the two arms. You just slide it right in. There's an Allen key over here where you can tighten it and lock it into the base. And once you're done, installation is pretty much complete. The arm is all ready to go, and it's nice and secure mounted to your desk. Another feature that we've done.
Are you able to move?
Yeah.
Are you able to move the monitor on this side here? Yep, there we go. Awesome. Oh, wow.
Loosen the cables first, but got a little lazy there and slide it into the rail, lock it in, and now it's back in place. So the whole product is designed to be super easy to use, very user-friendly, and
Could we do that again with the monitor that's just on the side there? Do you see that, Joe? That monitor on the side there?
absolutely.
Yeah, if here, let's try doing that with another one here. So we've got, there we go. So this one here, got our camera here set up.
So this is curved or a regular flat screen monitor, as long as there's
The Visa mount connections there, yeah.
Yep, as long as the VISA connection is there, it will work with the product. Once the wall plate's installed into the monitor, all you have to do is line up the monitor to the rail of the mount in the back, slide it right in, and just like that, your second monitor is installed. So we can kind of show that.
Yeah, wow, okay. So let me pull this camera back a bit. But yeah, there's your dual monitors.
Yeah, and the nice thing is gas shock. Any sort of fine adjustments can be made even when the monitor is installed. So if you want to bring it up a little bit, if you want to bring it down a little bit, you can do that with the tip of your finger. Even though the monitor is very heavy, the gas shock is holding onto all the weight, which allows for all the easy adjustments. There's also different arms in the back over here to change the direction of the monitor. So if you want it a little wider and more separated, you can loosen both arms. If you want the monitors to be tighter to each other, you can have them folded like that. The ball joint over here also allows for swivel, tilt, as well as vertical adjustments as well. So if you want to use your monitor vertically, all you have to do is just spin the monitor. You can have a clean monitor setup where one monitor is vertical and the other is horizontal. So it's a super, super neat mount to have to make your monitor experience easier and also more optimized to your personal setup. And there's also cable management built into the back of the product itself. So this would be a good example here. As you can see, the HDMI cable and the power cable gets routed through these cable management clips over here, runs into here, and then down to your desk. So when everything is properly installed, the front of the monitor setup will look extremely clean, free of cables, free of any sort of mess. But in the back, in reality, as many cables as it fits in the cable management slots, it will still look nice and clean. So that's our DMS 2000, which is the dual arm version. And this is our DMS 1000, which is the single arm version. Both products have the exact same features, including the quick release bracket, the adjustable arms, and the cable management tools. The only difference is this is for a single monitor, this is for a dual monitor. And for both models, they come in black and they come in silver.
So the 2000 for the two arms here, that's the DMS 2000?
That's right.
Correct? DMS 2000? We've actually used the DMS 2000 in the studio for a while. It was just in the middle of the pandemic, things had changed. But yeah, like the way that the arms seamlessly mount monitors, and also just similar to the DTS 1000 here, ease of use to get full articulation, whether it's height adjustment, rotation, tilt, pivot. It's got the right amount of tension, but it also holds it in place with the right amount of resistance. So I've used it myself, and I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm a weird fan of accessories like monitor arms and tablet mounts. So all of these items, very relatable to me, especially with how we just set up the webcam here on the 250. Like that right here was not really planned at all, but it made a lot of sense to do it on the fly. So that is very cool, Joe. We've got a few more minutes here. Awesome. We've got about 20, 30 minutes left. I feel like it would make a lot of sense for anyone in chat. If you have questions you want to run by us, feel free to just throw them at us in the Twitch chat. But until then, we've got more stuff we can cover. So Joe, what else? We've got 20, 30 minutes left or so. We've covered mounts for our headphones, which is the H1 and the H2. We've covered smartphone and tablet mounts. So that's going to be this one is the 150?
Yeah. And we have the
50 here. And then we've also talked about the DMS 2000 and also the DMS 1000 in silver. We talked about the DTS 1000 fully articulating monitor arm designed for desktop spaces. These are all designed for office or home office use. What else do we have that we can talk about today?
We should talk. I think there is a question that just came in about the.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we do have a good question here. Shadow Does Something asks, I'm going to be running a double monitor setup, one vertical monitor and a horizontal monitor, both being between 24 and 27 inches. Which arm would you recommend, knowing he has one in vertical and one in a horizontal setup?
So the two options for this setup would be to either go with the gas shock option, which is the DMS 2000 over here, or a fixed monitor arm option, which is the DML 2000 over there. The difference between them is the adjustments that are going to be available once the monitor is installed on the stand itself. So the DMS with the gas shock arms allow for on-the-fly adjustment. So like we did earlier, if you want to bring it up, if you want to bring it down, you can do that easily with just a touch of your fingertip. So with your use case here, it would look something like that, and then you can kind of make it work. You can bring it closer, you can bring it further to your liking. It's the most convenient product to use for this setup specifically, though the gas shock mounts will usually be a little more expensive compared to the fixed option. And then we also have a fixed option over on this side where it'll still work with a dual monitor setup. The only difference is once the monitor is mounted onto the stands themselves, you won't be able to do any fine adjustments after. So since it features a pull lock design where the monitor arms actually get locked onto the pull that's connected to the desk, you can't really lift or adjust the height of the monitor arms themselves once you have the monitors on there. So the only adjustments you'll be able to make is to have them closer or a little further, but you won't be able to adjust the height. The advantages of this stand, though, is it's fixed, meaning that the gas shock arms won't run out of gas. So for someone that don't really need the adjustments or the closer, further height adjustments often, this might be the better option, and it's also more cost effective. But my personal pick in this case would definitely be the DMS product, just because it's a lot more versatile. Personally, I've tried running a vertical monitor using this monitor arm, and it's really, it's not for me. So it was easy for me to just quickly adjust it back to a horizontal setup. Just like that, took me 5 seconds. Whereas if I have a more traditional monitor arm, like the fixed one over there, it would take me upwards to 15, 20 minutes because I'll have to remove everything and redo all the setup. So yeah, it really depends on how you plan on using your setup in the long run and also your budget. But personally speaking, DMS is my personal recommendation.
So I think that's a nice rundown of which monitor arms can make sense for our viewers. Oh, Shadow wants a follow-up question. Oh, have we mentioned price point? Okay, that's a great question. We might as well go to your website and start taking a peek at some prices. But Shadow, the quick summary that I heard from Joe, and also you can correct me if I'm incorrect in anything here. The the gas shock arms on these products are going to give you the most flexibility in terms of how you want to arrange your monitors. And then we've got the monitor arm here that doesn't have the gas shock design. So this will be the more cost-effective option, but also it's a little bit more limited in what can be done.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to switch over to let's go to the Kanto website.
Yeah.
Let's go take a peek here. So I'm going to pass this back to you over here. Going to cover the mount products. Points for
Yep, that's right. So for the more premium gas shock option over here, the DMS 1000 and the DMS 2000 goes for, I believe these are US prices.
so
That's right. So this is a gas shock option that's available in both black and white. And I believe Canadian pricing is $299 on the dual gas shock option. If you want to just click on the Memory Express website, that might give us just, oh, not be loaded properly on the website yet. But I believe the dual arm version is $299 Canadian for the gas shock DMS 2000s. And for the DML 2000s, it's around 100-ish. So the price difference between them is significant, mainly because of the gas shock arms themselves, and also some of the neat features like top mounting screws and the more industrial look to the DMS 2000. But the price difference is, yeah, around 150-ish. The DML will be in the $100 range, depending on whether or not you're going for the 100 or the 1,000 or 2,000. The DMS lineup will be in the 150 to 300 range, depending on which model you're going for.
the US pricing. But yeah, these are products that cover, I would consider this to be more on the premium or professional end of these kind of products. Monitor arms and mounting arms are not your everyday product, but then for those who are looking to optimize their workflow from, yeah, professional work, casual work, content creation, making photos, videos, if you spend long hours in front of your screen working on whatever kind of content or whatever whatever work or use case you have for your computer setup, I highly, highly, highly recommend trying monitor arms like the DMS 2000. And this is a new one for me. I didn't know about this DTS 1000 until recently, but trying a product like this and seeing how it improves your workflow is one of those things where it's a no-brainer once you've tried it. And I personally own multiple monitor arms, and that includes the DMS 2000. I have tried many different products, so give it a try if you're in the market for something to optimize your monitor displays. You've got quite a few options here that was mentioned by Joe. And yeah, I'm going to try this DTS 1000 out. This is going to be the next one I give a shot, give it a try. It's just such a clean finish, too. I know a lot of the gaming brands that make gaming focused monitors, they have some pretty aggressive, distracting designs for their bases, like the monitor base.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a little much. I lean on the side of I want minimalistic and a clean finish. I don't want to be distracted by too much. So I really appreciate the overall design aesthetic with Kanto is just clean, well thought out. It's quite pristine. It's quite a nice polish. So yeah, check out their monitor arms shadow. I think it's worth considering. I see. Yeah, you want a clean new home setup to optimize your workflow. Clean, minimalistic things lets you focus. I'm on the same boat. I'm on the same boat there.
Yeah, I think a big part of many of our products is the saying, it just works. Just like our headphone stands, just like our tablet stands or monitor arms, there is no complicated assembly instructions. There is no, across many products, no assembly required really. And all we want to make sure is it really just works for our end user. And it's as simple and as minimalistic as it can be for not just people that focus on gaming, but also for different crowds as well.
I have questions about your speaker products. They're sitting here looking real nice and pretty and sleek. We've got a bunch of colors. We've got matte white on that end. We've got matte black. We've got this beautiful bamboo finish. We've got another matte white finish product over here. Without going into too much detail, we've got 3 different product lines here. Joe, what can you tell us about the Kanto speaker product lines?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kanto Audio is known to manufacture and design beautiful 2-channel powered speakers. So all of our, I should say most of our, most of our speakers are powered, meaning you won't need an external amp or anything to power the speaker. Everything comes in 2 channels, so a pair. One unit is usually the main powered unit, and the other is a slave unit that connects through a speaker wire. We're known to make speakers that are extremely versatile with lots of different input options. So how some of our customers like to describe us is we're the Swiss Army knife of powered speakers. And Ronnie here is giving me a hand on getting some of the products out here. But taking Tuck as an example, which is one of our newest powered speaker over here, you can see that there is many, 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 many different input options that is built into the speakers themselves, from odor connections like RCA, auxiliary, to digital connections like a USB DAC built in for desktop use. Maybe we can get a close-up over here. Yep. Perfect. So USB DAC built in over here for digital connection into your computer for desktop use. RCA for an odor connection into your TV or any sort of gear that you have. We also have optical for TVs or home theater setups. And most interestingly, and I think this is probably something that we're known for, we also have a phono built in. So I think it's over here. Nice thing about our speakers, so that includes this newer speaker over here called Kanto Tuck, or just our Kanto U4s over here. All of them has a phono preamp built in. So it will work directly with your turntable without the need for an amp. So what we try to do when it comes to supporting our customers' lifestyle is, again, to make our products as multi-purpose and multifunctional as possible. So a customer might use our Tuck for desktop use for their computer, but if you want to use it for a home theater for your TV setup, you can immediately plug it into your optical port, into your TV, and now it's your home theater speaker. And if you want to use it for your turntable, all you have to do is plug it into your phono spot on the speaker, and now it'll directly work with your turntable without the need for an external amp. And it will even work with any sort of desktop purpose as well. So with the USB DAC, it will go directly into your computer's USB port. And since it's a digital connection, it will also control your computer system volume directly from the speaker itself. And there's even a headphone out built into the front here. So if you want to use headphones from time to time for a first-person shooter or something like that, you can simply plug your headphone into Tuck, and you won't have to worry about switching outputs on your computer or anything like that. So our speakers are really versatile. They sound great. They look great, though that might be a biased opinion for me. They look great, and they're super aesthetic. And we also make sure that there's lots of finish options for our customers as well, because everyone's setup is a little different. I might prefer matte white because of my setup at home, but Ronnie might prefer bamboo, and yourself, you might prefer matte black, or we offer a very nice walnut finish as well. So we want to leave that decision to yourself, which is why we offer as many finishes as possible. So that's kind of a very quick overview on Kanto Audio, kind of what makes us unique. Again, it's the amount of input options and the sound quality and the minimalistic design that we have that makes Kanto unique.
I feel like you made a comment that I would like to emphasize even more. Joe mentioned that the Kanto Tuck has a reputation as being the Swiss Army knife of speakers. I'm going to break that down a little bit more. So first off, sound quality. The Kanto Tuck speaker right here, these are the pair here in white. Sound quality is something they do very well. And this is coming from a music production background, audio engineering background, as well as a home theater enthusiast, me, myself. I can fully vouch for the quality when it comes to the speaker itself, just without adding features or talking about what that Swiss Army knife analogy even means. But you've got something really unique in this speaker regarding this section here, which is the tweeter, and then this section here, which is the main driver. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is an aluminum driver, and this is not your typical tweeter. This, if you notice, is different from the tweeter found on the U2 here. Not quite the same. So the result of that with the Kanto Tuck is that you end up with a very clean, pristine sound. And I have multiple friends who have heard these speakers, and very few have any intention to go beyond the Kanto Tuck line. This is kind of an end game speaker for a lot of people. And I can fully endorse and agree that this is a great investment if you really enjoy two-channel music. You do not need a subwoofer. Yes, this speaker itself, I don't really recommend or even suggest that you need a subwoofer because it just sounds fully capable. Now, the back here, Joe briefly touched on mentioning it's a Swiss Army knife. The reason it's a Swiss Army knife is you've got this phono connection, which allows you to have a dedicated connection for things like vinyl turntables. They use a different type of connection, phono specifically. Still an RCA connection in terms of what cable you're using, but the phono stage or the phono line itself requires its own connection. And then you've got an RCA input, which you can use to connect anything to. That's very versatile as well. On top of that, you still have optical and USB and Bluetooth. Just to make that point, you could have your vinyl turntables, you could have a Bluetooth connection, your desktop connection, and a receiver. If you've got a receiver or another audio source, so you could have 4 or 5 different sources connected at the same time, all with this Swiss Army knife of a speaker. So Joe is being a little humble there. But yes, absolutely, you can connect it shadow for phones, for parties. I have a friend who bought these specifically for their DJ setup. Not myself, someone else. And she loves it. Like, she now brings it to all of her friends' places when they have get-togethers. And this is the speaker, as you mentioned, is a Swiss Army knife of speakers. So that's my take on the Kanto Tuck. The Tuck looks very similar to this guy here. What can you tell us about this mini version? Looks quite different. Joe, what is this guy here?
The nice thing about our Kanto audio lineup is there is a product for almost every different uses and also different price points. So Tuck being our premium speaker kind of is the best that we offer in terms of sound quality and price point as well. But for a lot of customers that are just getting into something that's a little more professional when it comes to speakers, our U4s are a great option as well. So just like Kanto Tuck, which we just took a closer look at, the Kanto U4s also have the same amount of input options except for USB DAC. So phono built in for vinyl turntable use, Bluetooth built in, auxiliary built in for computer use, RCA for home theater use, and even a sub out and a USB port for charging if you were to connect your phone to play music off your phone. These speakers are all designed to be multi-purpose and multifunctional. The biggest difference between them, that's definitely one of the questions that I get the most often, is the drivers that power them. So Ronnie briefly mentioned earlier that the speakers themselves feature a different type of driver. So this U4 over here features a silk dome tweeter and a Kevlar cone, which is a very commonly used driver setup for speakers out in the market. The downsides to the Kevlar cone is it's not as sturdy and rigid as the aluminum concave cone on Tuck. So we're not able to pack as much bass into the U series, which is U4 over here, and we have a bigger version of this speaker over here because it will distort too much and it will affect sound quality. Whereas with Kanto Tuck, since it has the aluminum concave cone, we're able to pack in a lot more power to the bass and subwoofer woofer without having to worry about the sound being distorted. So it's the little details that makes the difference when it comes to building a speaker. Choosing different types of drivers can result in us being able to pack in a little more power without worrying about it distorting the sounds and all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of a quick rundown of the two different lines that we have at Kanto Audio.
So let me think here. 2018, I bought the U2, or sorry, U4. This pair is in white. It was actually one of the first. It was the first Kanto product I ever owned. I actually got my products mixed up, but I personally purchased the U4s in 2018, early 2018, before I even worked at Memory Express. I just bought them from Memory Express because I saw them, and yeah, like they do the job. And my recommendation for people, because we've got three different sizes here, is very important to kind of make it clear that your room, the size of your room, whether it's a bedroom, living room, kitchen, your dining area, each of these products is really optimized for a different room size. So the smaller rooms, that the less space you have, or maybe the closer your neighbors are, you'll want to consider how your product lines and speaker sizes can play into your daily life. So highly recommend in small rooms and apartments, and if you're having noise complaints often, you're going to want to consider the U2 product line. It's this guy right here in bamboo. We also have them in black, just to Joe's right. But yeah, you've got a smaller driver here. I believe it's also Kevlar,
Yeah,
same as the U4s. And then on the U4 here, you're just getting a slightly bigger driver. You're also getting more wattage to power the speaker. And then the Kanto Tuck on this side, you're getting completely different technology, much larger cabinet size here, and a much larger driver than the U2. So my suggestion, depending on your room size, is going to dictate which product line you go to. And then if you just need that extra bit of power, every single one of these speakers also comes with a subwoofer output. So that makes life easier if you're just trying to blow things up a little bit. Just for fun over here, yes, we have a Kanto Sub 8, which I'm just going to pull onto the desk here really quickly.
The nice thing about all of our speakers is they're really designed to work with many different products that you already have. Like, for example, Ronnie is showing our 8-inch sub, the Sub 8 right now. But if you have another sub that you have previously from before, it will still work with all of our speakers. We don't limit you to use our proprietary cables. We don't make you use our proprietary subwoofer. Everything is designed to be as universal as possible. So let's say if the speakers that connect the main unit to the slave unit breaks, it's just a standard speaker wire, so you can get another pair anywhere. It also has a sub out, which means you can use any other subs that you have. It doesn't have to be Kanto. So
Yeah, that's kind of neat, having the flexibility of home theater built into powered speakers. Like, there's a very big difference in products when it comes to speakers relating to the powered speaker world and then the passive speaker land. The powered speakers is kind of what dominates the market for the most part, and seeing that the U2, the U4, the U6, which we don't have featured today, but there's also a U6 and a Kanto Tuck, all of them have the ability to connect a external subwoofer, such as this beautiful Sub 8 here. I admit I have a lot of different audio products, and I experiment quite a bit with different subwoofers that don't necessarily have any relation to another brand like Kanto. I have a subwoofer by KRK. I have speakers by Mica, KRK, Logitech, brands that we don't even carry at Memory Express. I experiment a lot with audio, and it's very nice to have a subwoofer that you can just connect with a standard subwoofer cable, which is usually a single RCA connection. So final question from Shadow here. Oh wow, time's flying, Joe. Wow. Okay, it's already 4:38 p.m. But yeah, we'll continue with your questions here. So Shadow does something. It would like to ask for my brand new setup. I'm down for any product. What are the must-haves for a budget of $1,000? Shadow, this is a great question. Are you asking relating to accessories that we're talking about here, or in general? If you're just curious to know what are some like non-negotiables at $1,000, or if you had a budget of $1,000, which of these products are you asking as essentials? So I'll give you a few moments to answer that. Okay, budget of 1,000 for accessories. I'm gonna pass this over to Joe to get his opinion on the Kanto accessories, and then I'll step in here as well to kind of go over what I think is a must-have. So Shadow doesn't have speakers, monitor arms, or accessories. So with a budget of $1,000, Joe, what would be the must-haves for a desktop setup?
Personally, if I had $1,000 to spend across all of the Kanto accessories over here, the first thing I'll get is definitely the monitor arms, the DMS 2000s over here. It has really transformed the way I interact with my monitors and honestly, my day-to-day PC life, just because previously, when I was only using the stands that came with the monitors, it was really limiting in a way where I can't really adjust it to my liking, and I was actually adjusting my chair based on where the stand was. So I was adjusting my setup and my lifestyle based on the monitor itself. But ever since I got the DMS, I've been able to really redo my setup and adjust the height and everything and make the whole setup a lot more ergonomic and also a lot cleaner, because you'll notice that you won't need a stand that takes up space on your desk. So I would say the DMS 2000 would be a must for myself, just because monitor is honestly the most important thing when it comes to your PC setup. Without a monitor, without a properly set up monitor, you won't be able to do anything else. So that's definitely on my number one list. And then I would also
And Joe, before you finish with the monitor arm, so with the DMS 2000, I really point out how easy it is to adjust the viewing angles, and also if you have a standing desk, this is my biggest pro tip here. If you have a standing desk or a motorized desk that can elevate, go up or down a few inches, your viewing angle when you're seated versus standing changes dramatically. And whenever I'm using this DMS 2000, I don't even have to think about it. I can just walk right over and make whatever changes I need. So let's say I'm in a standing position now. I just like look at how easy that is to just lift it right up. This one I won't lift up too much because there's some wiring that might not have enough give, but just look at how easy this is, and I don't have to really worry about it. I often, I pace around when I'm on the phone, when I have ideas flowing. So I'm often like staring at my screens at different angles, and I'm constantly changing the way I do my work just to keep things interesting. So yeah, I think the DMS 2000, it's a strange thing to have as a favorite, but so far, this is the one I use the most on a regular basis, and I can't recommend it enough. So on a budget of $1,000, I do think that is one of the top options from Kanto. Now, another accessory and or speaker to fit within that budget, because that will take our budget down to maybe about $650, depending on which province you're from. $650 to $700 or so. So what would you recommend as another product line that we have that we can, well, actually it doesn't even have to be something we have. We can just pull it up on the website too. But what would be next, Joe? What would you recommend?
I would definitely go for a headphone stand or a headphone hook next. So depending on what kind of headphones you use and your own personal preference, the H1 headphone stand or the H2 headphone stand will be a great addition to keep your headphones off your desk and keep the grease out of any. I keep using that example, but it's the one that resonates with me the most. But yeah, the H2 or the H1 will be great additions to your desktop setup to keep your headphones away from documents or paper, any sort of things like that. So both have incredible sturdiness to them. So it doesn't matter which one you pick, it will definitely be able to hang onto your headphones with ease. And if headphone stands aren't your thing, or if you don't really want to waste desktop space on headphone stands, we also have the headphone hook here again that you can mount to the side of your desk, either through the 3M tape or through the 2 screws that come in the packaging. And this will free up desktop space completely while still giving you a space to hang your headphones. So this will definitely be my number 2 choice. In terms of costs, these will run you anywhere between 20 to 30, $39.99. So depending on the model that you go for, it will be around $20 to $40. And
So these are
Yep.
the Canadian prices.
yeah, so we have the H2 over here, which is the sturdy one, and we also have the H1. The H1 does come in 3 different colors, so black, silver, or white. And we have the headphone hanger here, or the headphone hook, and this is available in both black or white. Yeah, that would definitely be my number 2 pick. And another essential product to have to keep your desktop setup clean and minimalistic. And the third thing that we're missing here is definitely a pair of speakers. For speakers, both the U2s and U4s will absolutely be within budget, but it'll really come down to your personal needs and your personal desktop setup. So like Ronnie was mentioning, the U4s are a little bigger in size and form factor. So if you're a person that prefers a cleaner and more minimalistic setup for your desktop setup, I personally think the U2s would be a better fit just because the U4s can run big on some desktop spaces, especially if your desk is a little shorter or not as wide as some of the setups out there. So both will support your computer just fine, but the U2 specifically also has the USB DAC built in, which allows for a digital connection into your computer. So with the USB DAC, your computer can be controlled through the speaker itself, or you can use the volume toggles either on the computer or on your keyboard to control the speaker volume as well. So it's a nice feature to have. Another cool thing about the U2s is the dual port functionality. So there's 2 input options here, either the USB DAC, which is a digital connection into your computer, or the auxiliary, which is an input that you can use for either your computer or your phone. Both inputs are designed to work at the same time on U2s. So unlike all of our other speakers that has an audio switch built in, which means if you switch it to the auxiliary will be the only one working, or if you switch to the USB DAC, that will be the only active source. On U2s, both work at the same time. So a good example on how we can take advantage of that is, let's say if you have an Echo Dot where it can be connected into an external speaker to amplify the sounds of voice commands or music or stuff like that. You can have that connected to the U2s using the auxiliary port, while you have the USB port connected to your computer. So now your speaker will be speakers for both your computer and your Echo Dot. And this is just an example. You can also use the auxiliary for your phone as an example. Then you'll be able to play music from your phone while using the speakers with your computer at the same time as well. So again, that multifunctional, multi-purpose design theory that we go with, it's translated in the speakers as well.
I didn't realize you could do that. So I own, these are my personal U2s, these bamboo ones. Just to make it clear, that is my own purchase. These bamboo ones do not belong to Memory Express or Joe. They used to belong to Kanto, I guess, until I purchased them. But what Joe's saying here is these connections in the back, I'm going to switch the camera actually quickly here. On a lot of devices, that auxiliary connection and the USB connection cannot be used at the same time. So, Joe, if what you've just said could be summarized, you could have one audio source coming into the auxiliary connection, and then the USB connection can still be going to the computer, and it will receive both audio sources and play them at the same time if you want them to do that. Specifically for the U2s. Yeah. That is very interesting because you know what I typically do is I'll attach an audio source to this auxiliary port with a separate device like a Bluetooth receiver, and now I've turned it into a wireless, it has a wireless connection. And what's nice is you still have that USB port to connect directly to a computer and control with your own volume on the computer, on your keyboard. Super convenient, really nice. I quite literally owned the U4s in the past, the U2s. I also have a pair of the Tucks. I've tried them all, and I will say, yeah, in your budget, Shadow, you can fit the DMS 2000, one of the headphone hooks, or sorry, one of the headphone accessories, and probably a U2 or even a U4. But that'll really come down to the size of your room. I don't think it's good to recommend speakers without knowing the context of your environment, your listening environment. So we've got to keep it a little general. Mm-hmm. Overall, I think those are great accessories to have for
and not to forget,
a wide range of people. All right, let me adjust.
Whoops. Yeah, sorry. Also universal to other speakers out there as well. And the whole purpose of these speaker accessories is to give you the best listening experience when it comes to using our products on the floor, on the desktop, or anything like that. So over there is our S2 desktop speaker stands, which are these ones I have right here. They're designed specifically for the U2s over here, but also for any other speakers in the same size. And what it does is it props up the speaker to the perfect ear level so that now your speakers are shooting at your ears and the sound is traveling to your ears rather than your chest. So without the speaker stands here, you'll see that on a desk, both drivers are just firing sound into your chest. So it's really just bouncing off your chest and going into your ears, which is not the best experience.
And there's also another use case here, Joe, is if you're putting the speakers on a higher angle, now you can point them down as well.
Yeah, so it works both ways. And the great thing is with this, it really enhances your listening experience at a fraction of what you would have to do to soundproof or anything like that. And with the added space in the bottom, you can even slip notepads or stuff in to clean up your space and declutter as well. So it's a great accessory that we sell in different sizes for desktop use. Ronnie already got it ready, but we also have, this looks like the H2, doesn't it, the headphone stand, but this is our desktop speaker stand, and it's a different design that's meant for desks or spaces are a little shorter compared to your ear level. And what you can do is you can place any speakers. Again, it's universal, but designed for Kanto speakers specifically. You can place any speakers on there, and now your speakers will be shooting in your ears rather than on your chest. So this would also work in, for example, if you want to use it for your kitchen or for your home theater setup, but your island or your TV stand is a little too low. This will bring the speakers back to your ear level. And the nice thing is there's cable management built in as well. So all the cables would just go into the pole here and then come out from the bottom, which keeps your setup nice and clean from the front. It also comes in different sizes as well. So this speaker stand here comes in 4 different sizes. So we have a 6-inch option, which is a little shorter. We have a 9-inch option. We also have floor options, which is 26 inches or 32 inches from the floor. So these speaker stands are designed to give you the best listening experience, not just with Kanto speakers, but with any speakers that you own. And we've also have,
Just gonna pull up the stands on the website.
perfect, that makes it easy. So
Okay,
yeah, the 6, the 9-inch, the 26-inch, and the 32-inch options. There's also a shock absorbing foam built into the top and the bottom, which prevents any sort of vibrations that could cause a distortion to your music. So great tools to make sure that your speakers are optimized to your perfect level and your own setup. Added benefit for using these with Kanto speakers though is since the Kanto speakers have a speaker thread underneath, you can actually mount a speaker screw into the bottom of our stands and secure the speaker directly onto our stands to give it an extra level of security and sturdiness and to prevent it from being bumped off your stands. But they're generally universal, and we even include 2 different plates for all of our floor or desktop stands to accommodate different speakers. So with both the 6 and the 9 inches, sometimes the plate might be too small, for example, for tuck.
Oh. But you still have the screw mechanism there.
So for example, this stand is a little, the plate itself is a little too skinny and too narrow for tucks. So we actually include a square plate that you can replace, just slide it out and slide the square one in, which will fit the tucks better. Any sort of bigger speakers like tucks can fit that better.
So this is the screw that Joe is mentioning.
Up, you would just feed the screw from the bottom upwards and then screw the speaker in to secure it onto the stand. So a range of speaker accessories are designed to really take your audio experience and speaker experience to an even better level. And that is what I would recommend if you're getting a pair of U2s or U4s or U6s. Definitely take advantage of the wide range of speaker accessories that we offer to make sure that you're getting the most out of your speakers.
I also just noticed that Morgul Scorpion rated us with a party of 5. Thank you very much for joining the chat. I'll do a quick intro for everyone who just joined. This is Joe, a national account manager with Kanto, and we're just finishing up our final Q&A with the live stream focused on Kanto mounting products like these arms, this desktop monitor arm, and then we've also got a few other accessories on this side, more monitor arms. We've got our speaker products, our mounting products, which you can see we did live on stream mounting a webcam to the DMS 250, is it? So we've got all these different products that we were discussing over the last hour and a half here. So for the last little bit, if you have any questions, now's your chance to bug Joe and to pick our brains while we're here for the next little bit. But yeah, carrying on, Joe. While we finish off, we had our question from Shadow Does Something. I think that covers his budget, his $1,000 budget. His question was, with $1,000, which accessories and speakers would make sense to purchase? So I think our conclusion was to go with the DMS 2000, since we know that Shadow's home office had two monitor setups, two monitors, one in portrait, one in landscape, which is a very interesting setup, which can be totally supported with the DMS 2000. Then we identified a headphone stand, would also be a good accessory for the setup, and then either the U2s, these ones here, or the U4s. And then that would bring us towards the end of that budget. So we do have a few more questions. Spicy Lemon, hello. Hello, Joe. He says hello. Morgul Scorpion has a question I'll answer here. Do you guys ship to the USA? Currently, we do not. Unfortunately, our business does not expand into the US right now as a retailer, but that could change in the future. For the time being, we are Canadian only. You have a bunch of viewers in the US, but you're in Edmonton. Well, I apologize. Your viewers will not be able to receive products from Memory Express. But since you're in Edmonton, you could always head over to our Edmonton West or Edmonton South location. I'm sure you're familiar with them already. Okay, well, Joe, we've got tons of products that we've already discussed. We've covered speakers, we've covered accessories. Is there anything else that you wanted to finish off with before we sign off for today?
Yeah, so in addition to all the products that we took a closer look at today, which includes majority of our speakers, the desktop accessories, and a few mounting solutions that we have. We also have more mounting solutions available online and through Memory Express, such as TV mounts for any sort of your TV mounting needs. We also offer a TV stand that's very similar to our DTS 1000 here, except it's for TVs, which unlocks tilt, swivel for customers that are unable to mount their TV onto the wall. And we also have TV carts, which are rollable carts where your TV can be hung on so that you can roll your TV everywhere, ceiling mounts, and all sorts of really cool mounting solutions. So definitely check us out on our website, as well as Memory Express's website for more of those products. And as a sneak peek into what we're working on next, you guys are probably going to be the first to hear about this. But we are working on a new pair of speakers that's going to be a combination of a smaller form factor, like the U2s, and a more modernized design, like the Tuck. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that yet, but I'm going to say it anyways and hope for the best. But yeah, so that's something that we're working on next. It's going to feature brand new drivers, but in a smaller form factor, so that customers that have a smaller space can still take advantage of some of the newer technology that we've been able to build into Tuck. And hopefully we'll be able to share more on that soon. And I'm sure Ronnie will definitely keep you guys posted as well. And yeah, that's all I have.
Amazing, amazing. So we have some new products coming out soon, and Joe just gave us a little bit of an official teaser, and yeah, we'll keep that to ourselves for now. It's a product line that is similar to the U2, and apparently it's a complete redesign, and it is meant for smaller setups. I know a lot of our viewers, myself included, we have limited space, so we need to be mindful of what the room acoustics sound like whenever we make a purchase with speakers. Spicy Lemon has a quick question here. What's the best speakers for my PC setup, and what would be the best for a home theater setup? Okay, best speakers for your PC setup relates to a point I just made actually, is the size of your room. So best is very subjective. Best is, do you need convenience? Do you care mostly about sound quality? What are your sound quality biases? Maybe you like a lot of bass. If you have a small space, the U2 and the U4 are probably your better bet. And then you also have the tuck here. If you have a bigger space, definitely go with the tuck. And then if you want that added sound quality, you could always go with a subwoofer like the Kanto Sub 8, which you can kind of see in the corner just down on the floor here. We featured it earlier. Now, home theater is something Memory Express doesn't dabble in too much, but myself, I do have experience with home theater. So again, room size. It's going to come back down to what's the size of your room before we can properly answer what's the best setup for home theater. However, my personal recommendation, if you have the space, if you want a unique experience for home theater, I make the argument that a 5.1 surround sound system is the way to go because it is so different from a 2.0 or a 2.1 setup. So if you can find a solid 5.1 setup with speakers, passive speakers, and receiver, then you're good to go. But this goes beyond Memory Express. We, just full disclosure, we don't really carry receivers, passive speakers, and the kind of electronics and cables and accessories that you'll need for home theater speakers. And just to clarify, home theater speakers are passive speaker products typically. These are all powered speakers, meaning they are actively powered with a preamp inside each of these speakers. If you want to get super technical, it's actually only in the left speaker for Kanto, but take my word for it. Home theater, you're going to go with passive speakers, which are very different from the product lines that we have in front of us today. Kanto mostly focuses on 2.0 and 2.1 speaker setups, powered speakers made for either desktops, computer spaces, or for music listening specifically, which means vinyl turntables, optical inputs, or other sources that can be connected through USB or RCA connections. That is my quick summary of the audio world, Spicy Lemon. And yeah, that brings us to the end of our interview and Q&A with Joe today, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. My name's Ronnie, and I'm from Memory Express. And to my side here is Joe from...
Kanto.
Thank you, Joe, for joining us today. This is our very first episode in this new studio. It's our first ever film segment in the new studio here at the Memory Express Me Sports office. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll catch you at the next stream. And we'll catch you on YouTube. We'll catch you on Instagram. We have tons of new content being produced and released later this month and moving forward into the rest of the year. So thanks again for supporting us, and we'll see you next time.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
See ya.